Ladies and gentlemen, we are live! It's time!
Day one of not cutting my hair until Real Madrid win. Yeah, okay, you guys fucking thought, right? Okay, yeah, all right. What is going on, everyone? It is now time for another edition of the Raw Rundown here on the Around the Point Network YouTube channel. We're also live over on Twitch and also over on Kick. If you are new to any of the platforms that you're watching this from right now, hit the like, hit the thumbs up, hit that bell notification to be notified whenever I go live. And also, more importantly, subscribe and follow. All right. It is Tuesday, February the 10th, 2026. And I hope all of you, as of this moment, already by now, already made your Valentine's Day reservations. I hope that you have. But also, more importantly, I hope you're all having a wonderful day. Here I am talking to you guys about the February 9th edition of Monday Night Raw, which, look, yes, there's some matches that were made official, right? But other than that, I'm going to be honest with you. Outside the CM Punk stuff, um, outside of the CM Punk Finn Balor um build or segment on the show, and outside of that, I'm gonna be honest, this show was kind of a let me put it to you in a way. Let me just play a clip, I guess, to sum up Monday Night Raw from last night. Maybe you guys disagree, but it is what it is.
I'm not feeling it.
I wasn't feeling it. I really was not. And this is the thing, like, we are on the road to WrestleMania, right? And it feels like there's a lot of like turbulence right now on the road to WrestleMania. It feels like right now there's a lot of like Houston, we have a problem type of stuff going on. But I want to be excited, but reality is I was just not feeling this episode of Monday Night Raw. Like I mentioned before, outside of the CM Punk Finn Balor stuff, everything else just felt like whatever. Okay. And I guess if anything, an honorable mention is Javon Evans. Yeah, and AJ Lee. But outside of that, we'll get into all that stuff. Let me know your thoughts in the chat. What did you like from Raw? What did you not like from Monday Night Raw? Let me know. If you've not yet checked out Steve's Kitchen, go give that a watch whenever you get a chance. I gave you guys my thoughts on the Bad Bunny Super Bowl halftime show. And don't let everyone tell you it was bad. Don't let everyone tell you it was stupid. Nah, it was amazing. All right. It was fucking amazing. Don't let anyone tell you any differently. So go give that a watch when you get a chance. But yeah, Monday Night Raw last night. Monday Night Raw was live from Cleveland, Ohio, from the Rocket Arena. Yeah, the Rocket Arena. And yeah, like I said before, this show was just, man. I will say, it's better than as far as the matches go. There were more matches on this show than there were last week. That's for sure. But outside of that, I just wasn't feeling it, But here's what we do know. We know now officially that we have two matches added to the show. It will be Finn Balor and it will be CM Punk against Finn Balor for the World Heavyweight Championship. Finn Balor is getting his rematch. This time is in Punk's hometown in Chicago at the United Center. And also, speaking of Chicago, we go from one Irish person to the other. Becky Lynch will be defending the Women's Intercontinental Championship against AJ Lee. That is the matches that were made official for Elimination Chamber. And yeah, and also I will say this another mention that I thought was okay, but doesn't really say much. It was the return of AJ Lee. AJ Lee made her return last night, and she was walking with CM Punk. You know, husband and wife must be nice, right? To work with your significant other. I couldn't be. I could not be able to do it. Like, nah, I'm good. But it is what it is. So the show opens up opened up. Hold on 1 second here. One little bit here. I want to do something here real quick if I can. There you go. Much better. So the show opened up with Michael Cole and Corey Graves. They confirmed the report about Braun Breaker being injured and will be out of action indefinitely. Now, you guys know he is out with a hernia. There are reports saying that he could be out for a couple weeks. But right now, the WrestleMania appearance could be in jeopardy. And it kind of sucks because you think about it, right? Um, Everyone thought like Braun Breaker and Rollins was gonna be the direction for WrestleMania. And now it seems like it's not gonna be the case because we don't even know what is the status of Seth Rollins as well. We don't know. But it's unfortunate. I hope Braun makes a speedy recovery. I do think it's important. Your health comes first at the end of the day. So we'll see how things progress. I'm sure there'll be more reports coming out, but he, as of right now, is out of action. To my understanding, he had the surgery already. So we're gonna see, how long he will be out. But I've heard like 12 weeks, but we'll see. Hopefully, he makes it in time for WrestleMania. That is the hope here. But again, it just has to suck because, like, you think, right, like, yo, here he is, right, about to probably be in a big program here with Rollins at WrestleMania. There are even thoughts, hey, he would have won the Rumble, and that didn't happen either, obviously. But yeah, so the word is going around that he's had the hernia issues for a while, uh, to my understanding. So, yeah, that's the thing. According to Dave Meltzer, this is from Meltzer, by the way. Um, Meltzer explained that Breaker's hernia issue has been lingering for some time before suddenly becoming serious enough to require emergency surgery. According to Meltzer, he has had this issue for a while. He had been working with it, and then it got bad. Then the day it got bad, he needed emergency surgery. He added that he doesn't believe it was caused by heavy lifting, saying, I don't think it was deadlifting. I'm not exactly sure what it was, but they were saying on TV that it was because of training. Uh, but Meltzer stressed that there is no set timetable for Breaker's return and downplayed extreme speculation. Nothing, there's no timetable for a return. And they're talking about career ending. I think that's kind of an exaggeration and he'll come back. I hope he does. I don't want to really think that it's going to be career ending. Like, no, come on. You know, but time will tell. We'll see how things progress. I wish Braun Breaker a speedy recovery. So after this, we saw Becky Lynch. She appeared and she was calling out Raw's management for the injustice that she has suffered. And then we saw the return of AJ Lee. And AJ Lee immediately interrupted, and Lynch had a giant crash out. And she proceeds to challenge AJ Lee to a match for the women's Intercontinental Championship at Elimination Chamber. And AJ Lee gladly accepted. However, Becky Lynch said Lee had no idea what she was getting herself into. Again, being that they're in Chicago, and let's be honest, look, I always say AJ Lee is from Jersey, but reality is she also has residency, like hometown residency in Chicago. So you already know like that crowd gonna react crazy for her. Remember a couple months ago when she made her big return, right? At the Allstate Arena. Yeah, imagine that, but this time in a bigger building at the United Center. It's gonna be crazy. I think it'll be a good match. Um, I don't think it'll be just a one and done match. I think they'll have maybe one more match at WrestleMania, but I do see AJ Lee, when it's all said and done, walking out with the Women's Intercontinental Championship, not at the Chamber, but I do think at WrestleMania for the most part. And I do think, again, being that this is AJ Lee's first singles match in almost 11 years, that's crazy in itself. Like, yeah, she was part of that mixed tag team match at WrestlePalooza with CM Punk when they went up against Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. She was part of the women's War Games match, right? At Survivor Series. People thought she was going to be at the Royal Rumble, but that didn't happen. So this is her first official one-on-one match. It will be her official first one-on-one match since, I want to say, 2015. I think she wrestled Nikki Bella in her last singles match. So it's crazy to think that both women are still on the roster, right? After all these years, right? They're still there and shit. But I do think, again, it should be a very entertaining match. You just wonder, can AJ Lee still go now that it's going to be a one-on-one match? I think that she will. But like I mentioned earlier, I do think AJ Lee, that is right. Let me just get my AJs right here. AJ Lee wins the belt at WrestleMania when it's all said and done. But we'll see how that goes. After this, we did get the first match of the night for the WWE World Tag Team Championship. We had the Usos going up against Alpha Academy's Otis and Akira Tozawa. Now, when you see this, right now, mind you, the match itself was okay. Nothing to really go crazy about, right? Like, there were moments there where you kind of thought, okay, they did the whole tease of a near fall, right? Tosawa had a moment to shine, right? And when it was all said and done, the Usos hit the 1D and they get the win. They retain their tag titles. As you expect, again, the match is nothing to write home about, in my opinion. But again, it was good to see Jimmy again. But when the match was over with, when the match was done, Jimmy said Jey Uso needs to qualify for the men's elimination chamber match. He needs to be once again main event Jey Uso and be world champion again. And I think for everyone, when you heard that, right, when Jimmy told that to Jey Uso, right, the one thing that went into your mind when you heard that is,
I'm not feeling it.
we've been down this road before. There's no need to have Jey Uso uh hold, look, you won the match, fine. Okay. But there's no need of him going to WrestleMania, challenging or getting a future. Well, whatever the case may be, there's no need for it. Okay. There's no need for it. We're good here. We're good. Okay. So that's happening eventually, right down the road. From there, we saw Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio appear, right? And Mysterio was, appeared for a promo uh with basically, again, them hyping each other up. And then Stephanie McCurry interrupted and told Liv Morgan that she wanted Morgan to pick her for WrestleMania. Pick her. Now, keep this in mind, right? There's a moment there where Dominic and Stephanie McCurry are talking in Spanish, right? And as you know, Becky Lynch did win the Royal Rumble. She was on SmackDown this past Friday and confronted Jade Cargill. So they're doing this thing where Liv is, again, still having to think about it, not rush into a decision, which she should not be doing at all. And basically, Liv said that she won't rush her decision and then proceeded to call Stephanie McCurry a puta, which means bitch in Spanish. And Vaquer then slapped the hell out of Dominic Mysterio. Um, I do think when it's all said and done that Liv Morgan will choose Stephanie Vaquer. I do see that happening. As far as the segment goes, um, it was fine for the most part. Again, you want Liv to still make a decision eventually. And look, there's a lot of people out there who are so feeling some kind of way. Why are they talking in Spanish? It's bad enough that I heard the Super Bowl and the halftime show in Spanish. Why do I need to hear them in Spanish? To those people, look, just shut up. Just shut up. Okay.
Sit your ass down. Go to sleep.
Yeah, just go to sleep, y'all. Go to sleep. Um, and then we saw a video package for the women's elimination chamber qualifier, which was between Rhea Ripley, Lyra Valkyria, and Ivy Nile. Now, when I say those three names, triple threat, if you did not, if you watched Raw last night when the match was going on, who did you think was going to eat the pin? I guarantee a lot of us probably thought, oh, it'll be Ivy Nile, right? Of course. Why would they pin Lyra Valkyria? Yeah, come on. You really think they're gonna pin Rhea Ripley? Come on. So in your mind, you're like, oh, Ivy Nile there to eat the pin. And let me just say this right now. Ivy Nile in this match was the bleeding shits. Was the bleeding fucking shit. There's moments in the match where it's like, yo, she botched a couple of moves. There's a moment there where, yo, she could have literally hurt Lyra Valkyria. Now, look, I believe there's nights where talents have an off night, but it just, again, you watch this stuff and you're like, again, how is it that Lyra Valkyria was the one to get pinned? We didn't pin Ivy Nile. Like, what are we doing? What the fuck are we doing? I don't get it. But as a result, Rhea Ripley has qualified for the women's elimination chamber match at Elimination Chamber, which now begs the question, what's going to be with the tag titles, right? Going into WrestleMania. I know I'm probably thinking way too much in advance, right? There's a big probability that Rhea Ripley doesn't even win at Elimination Chamber, right? There's that chance. But it's just one of those things where it's like you want to believe that Io Sky might also be in the match, right? So we'll see how all that goes. But yes, Rhea Ripley is going to the Elimination Chamber. After this, we saw Finn Balor speaking to the Judgment Day and telling them that he was done being seen as an afterthought, right? And it was one of those things where, Finn is still feeling the afterthoughts of losing in Ireland, right? He wants another shot at the title. And last week, CM Punk, I guess, called him out and all that stuff. And Dominic's like, honestly, bro, I think that ship has sailed. JD's going to come back soon. You guys should go after the tag titles. It's like if Dominic is doubting Finn, think that, he should focus on another stuff, something else, not the world title. Also considering the fact, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but Dominic Mysterio next week is involved in a Elimination Chamber qualifying match. And we'll get to that in a bit. We'll get to that in a second here, okay? So Finn, was not having it. He's not having it at all. So he's like, you'll see what I'm gonna do. Like he was pissed off almost, right? After what happened. So I want to make sure, like, I want to make sure this is legitimate, Chris Leclerc. Not saying that you're wrong, but I just want to double check. All right, don't think that I'm doubting you or anything like that. I just want to double check what you're saying is, yeah, Roxanne Perez is dealing with an illness. Get well soon, Roxanne. She hasn't been seen last 2 weeks because of an illness. Let me see here. Roxanne Perez received get well soon gifts from the Judgment Day. Okay, I'm seeing it here now. Again, I don't know what it is. I don't know what the what's the gravity of this? Like, what's the illness? No, I don't know. So I don't want to say something that's wrong here. So yeah, but I do hope she makes a speedy recovery. Okay. So after this, um, we see Michael Cole interviewing. He was about to interview CM Punk, but Finn Balor interrupted, and Balor called out Punk for the world heavyweight title. And Adam Pearce wanted none of it. However, Punk appeared and demanded a match against Finn Balor. And Pierce then was not about it, right? He did not want to do it because they were trying to protect the WrestleMania main event between CM Punk and Roman Reigns, right? Keep this in mind. CM Punk is like this fighting champion. Why, oh, why? In theory, right? Why would you risk the opportunity of, you know, missing out in a big money match against arguably the biggest box office attraction that WWE has had in the last couple of years in a match against Roman Reigns, right? Why would you risk, more importantly,
Payday, payday, you want payday.
by wrestling Finn Balor? But it's CM Punk. He wants to prove he's the best in the world. So he demands Pierce to make it official for Elimination Chamber in Chicago, his hometown, right? And Adam Pierce was then like, all right, fine, you got your match. It will be CM Punk and Finn Balor, this time in Punk's backyard in Chicago for the World Heavyweight Championship. And it was made official, right? It was made official. Um, trying to get there we go. 1 second here, folks. It is official. It will be CM Punk versus Finn Balor, as Chris Leclerc writes here, pin Balor for the World Heavyweight Championship at the Elimination Chamber in Chicago, the United Center. Um, Look, do I really sit here and say to myself, yo, is Finn Balor really winning? Hell no. But for all my sick degenerates out there who love betting, who love, placing bets on wrestling matches because you can on Bet Online. Let me just see what are the odds for this right now, real quick. I'm about to see if they already have this already. And yes, they do. Oh my goodness. Right now, as we speak, CM Punk is a minus 5,000. Meaning, if you bet $5,000 on CM Punk, you are getting back literally $100. That's how much you're getting back. Um, Finn Balor is at a plus 1,200. That is where he's at right now. So if you like betting, if you're a sick degenerate, there you go. And if you're wondering, what are the odds for AJ Lee and Becky Lynch? Becky Lynch right now is at a plus 200. And AJ Lee is at a minus 300 right now. So there you go. Those are the odds right now, courtesy of Bet Online. For those of you out there who do want to place bets and all that stuff. But yes, that is happening. And after that, Michael Cole, after this, right? It's official. And Punk, is he wants he wants the interview with Michael Cole. And Cole's like, what are you doing? Right? What are you like? What is he doing? Like, again, you have this main event match with Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, and you're gonna risk it by wrestling Finn Balor for the world title, a guy he's already beaten, right? And Punk said that he was building a greatness. He was I guess building greatness. He's been working on for the past 10 years, saying he would face anyone at any time to prove that he is the best in the world. I thought the segment itself was good. Probably one of the highlights of the show, that and AJ Lee for the most part. But other than that, look, the match itself is going to be a fun match. Okay. But obviously, Punk is winning this. Come on. You really think Punk is losing? Come on. You'd be a fool if that happened. You'd be a fucking fool. So there was that. After this, um, Adam Pearce was confronted by Division, and Pierce asked them all to not get involved in Theory's Elimination Chamber qualifier, and he claimed that it was a threat. And Logan Paul told Pierce he could not do anything to Cleveland's greatest export. I mean, I'm sure, yeah, but his brother is not safe in Puerto Rico. Let me just say that right now. Uh, from there, we go to Natty versus Maxine Dupree, which literally ended in a double count out. The match literally went about 95 seconds when Natty locked in a sharpshooter onto Maxine Dupree on the announcer's table. Locked in the sharpshooter, was not letting go. AJ Lee comes out, tries to make the save, and Natty leaves. And AJ Lee, who did say at the beginning of the show she was there to show support for her girl, Maxine Dupree. And as she's helping Maxine Dupree get to the back, from behind, out comes Becky Lynch, and she lays out AJ Lee. And there we go. Look, I'm glad this match was short because honestly, I'm good. Did not need to see the match, right? I am enjoying Natty's new theme song. I'm enjoying the the character change. That's great. But this was fine for what it was. After this, we saw Javon Evans and a mystery partner going up against Los Americanos, right? Bravo and Rayo. And let me say this: Bravo and Rayo are amazing. Their character work are just fucking amazing. For two Brits, they can pull the Mexican gimmick to a fucking T. They really worked on their Espanol to a T, and I'm here for it. I really am. There's a one line that I guess because again, Javon Evans' partner was the original El Grande Americano, right? It is crazy because if you guys watch AAA, you will notice that in Mexico, El Grande Americano, right, gets this massive cheer. It's like, bro, it's like he is Hulk Hogan in the 80s. That's the reaction he gets in Mexico. Meanwhile, El Grande, the original Grande Americano in Mexico, gets booed. But in the States, the original Grande Americano is loved, he's revered, he's cheered by the fans, but El Grande Americano is booed. It's crazy, right? And there's a line where I guess Cole asked Graves, who is the real El Grande Americano? And his response was hilarious. It depends on what side of the border you on. I lost it. I fucking lost it. Um, I will say this: the highlight of this match, one of I think it was Bravo or one of the two. I want to say it was Ryo. Went for like a dive off the top turnbuckle, and Javon Evans on the opposite side catches him in midair for the OG cutter, which was fucking awesome. I will say this too, Javon Evans, please, and this is not a knock on him, but they need to stop making him do promos, especially when it's not aired for the American audience. Like if you watch Raw on Netflix on a VPN, you get to see like the interview that they do, right? And it's like, bro, I don't need him doing interviews. Just let him wrestle. Let him be the high flyer. Okay. Let him do the crazy flips and shit. Let him do that. And stop saying you're. Please don't. Okay. Please don't. But when it was all said and done, Javon Evans in the original Grande Americano got the win. And after this, El Grande Americano in the original Grande Americano brawled. This is cool. It's like, who is the real Grande Americano? And I think this one, and there was a moment there as well where they were the original Grande Americano was trying to rip the mask of El Grande Americano. So something tells me at WrestleMania, we are going to probably more than likely get a mask versus mask match, which they do a lot in Mexico. So I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Just for everyone to see this whole time it was Ludwig Kaiser, right? After this, Lyra Valkyria and Bailey were interviewed, with Bailey saying that she will beat Natty and Asuka next week to qualify for the women's elimination chamber, while at the same time, Vic Joseph was throwing shade at Lyra Valkyria. And Lyra Valkyria was not having it, right? And I guess someone in the crowd said something that got the attention of Bailey and Lyra. I don't know what was said, but it seemed like they were very bothered by it. But yeah, Bailey did make a valid point. Next week on Raw, it will be Bailey versus Asuka versus Natty in another qualifying match to see who joins Tiffany Stratton and Rhea Ripley in the women's elimination chamber at the elimination chamber. So we'll see how that goes. Should be a fun one. If I'm to pick a winner here, I will go with Asuka. I think Maxine Dupree gets involved and costs Natty the match. But we'll see how all that goes about. After this, there's a vignette for Obafemi saying he was the change WWE needed. Um, if you remember on SmackDown this past Friday, he did lay out Kit Wilson in a very quick open challenge. So there was that. After this, we saw Gunther, and he said that he was going to win the men's elimination chamber. Funny enough, it is happening next week. It will be Gunther going up against Dominic Mysterio, who is the Intercontinental Champion and also the AAA Mega Champion, and Javon Evans. So Gunther essentially is getting a bye. Like, if he loses this match, like, bro, what are we doing? You know, like, there's no way he loses this, right? Like, come on, bro. Gunther can wrestle blindfolded this match and he'll win, right? Bailey's going to win. That's fine. Okay, Chris. But that's happening next week on Monday Night Raw. And also next week, we'll hear from AJ Lee. We're going to hear from AJ Lee. And we'll see what she has to say. You know, your favorite wrestler's favorite wrestler. And then we got the main event. We had LA Knight versus Penta versus Austin Theory. The match itself, I'm going to be very honest with you. As far as main events go, I've seen better. Okay, I've seen better. If you remember, Adam Pearce did say to the Vision, he did not want any of them involved in the match. Did they listen? Hell no, they didn't listen. Why would they? Why the hell would they listen? Think about that for a second. Why the fuck would they listen? So this led to them getting involved, right? To which then after this, right, Theory's on the outside, and a masked man, the masked person comes out once again and lays out Austin Theory, lays him out. And then LA Knight picked up the W, hits the BFT for the 1-2-3, and LA Knight advances and he moves on and he is going into the elimination chamber. He joins Randy Orton. So there is that. Okay. Again, Raw as a whole, I'll be honest with you, it was meh, to be honest. AJ Lee is going to be in WWE 2K26, first video game since 2K15. That's awesome. That's awesome. I did see like Punk was reacting to her entrance, so there's that. Hopefully it's a good game. Let's hope that it is. But yeah, Raw overall, it was meh for me at least. But if you enjoyed it, I mean, hey, that's you. All right. Speaking of which, if you guys have not yet checked out Steve's Kitchen, make sure you guys give that a watch whenever you get a chance. I gave my thoughts on Bad Bunny's halftime performance and so much other stuff. This Saturday, if you are a channel member, you get to watch Grand Slam Australia with us. If you are an ATP channel member, it's only $2.99 a month. All right. We'll be watching like a family. All right. So there's that. I'll be back live tomorrow. Yeah, Randy Orton has been in 10 elimination chamber matches. That's awesome, bro. That's crazy too when you think about it. I'll be back Thursday for something about Dynamite. I'll be back for that. Hopefully, Dynamite's a good episode tomorrow. All right. But that's going to be it for me, guys. Much love to all of you. Follow me on X at Heel Steven. Follow the Around the Point Network over on X at AT Point Network. That's going to be it for me, guys. Much love to all of you. And I'm out. Peace.